Yes, sir. We are back. What's going on, everybody? What's up, Peter?
What's going on, Los?
What's up? So we're here, headphones and highlights. It's just the two of us today as we're going to give you guys our 2026 Elimination Chamber review.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So, Peter, overall, what did you think of the event? We'll go in depth match by match, but overall, what did you think?
Honestly, overall, the show wasn't terrible. It wasn't the worst pay per view I've seen, but obviously, wasn't one of the better ones either. I think the predictability did not help in this. I'm sure that you'll be able to talk more about it in depth, but I would say the show was okay. I The women's chamber wasn't, I feel like it wasn't as good as the last year's one. Um and we'll get more into depth into it later. But I am happy. I will say that the night ended good because Randy won instead of Cody, so that was a good thing. So overall I'd say that it was like a 6 out of 10, I would say.
Okay, okay. I agree. I would give it a 6 out of 10 as well. It's not like the best by far, not the best. I've seen worse pay per views by WWE, so can't complain. I thought there were some quality matches, although there was only four of them, and it was kind of predictable. I think we did a pretty good job predicting it. If you guys haven't seen the last video, that is currently out now already on YouTube, headphones and highlights. Uh, so, yeah, let's start it off. We'll go in match order. So the first match was the women's chamber. Um, So the first match had it was the women's chamber. Rhea Ripley, she defeated Tony Storm, Alexa Bliss, Asuka, Kiana James, and Raquel Rodriguez. What did you think about that one?
Um, like I told you earlier, the match itself was it was okay. I think it wasn't better than last year's Elimination Chamber. I think last year's was better. Um, I will say that I did like the showcase that Raquel Rodriguez had in this
Yeah.
match. She came across as a dominant figure, like a beast. Um, and I do know that Kevin Nash was talking about her before and saying that she needs to be like a big, like a, a big strong character, and like not really let these little girls, like not little girls but small girls, affect her and beat her up like that. So I feel like WWE did the right thing there. Excuse me. They did good by her. I think that they showcased her well. Kiana James, I think she did okay in the match too. There was a couple of things that she did that were pretty good. I feel like Alexa did not fit in too well in the match. She's just not like a high flyer or nothing like that. Um, I guess I guess you didn't want to keep repeating putting EO in matches. I think EO would have benefited in this, but I get it. You don't want to keep doing the same thing over and over and over. Oscar was okay too. She's just getting a little older, so like obviously she can't do the same thing over and over. And Tiffany and Rhea, I think that they were meant to be in the match. I think that they were like not stand out, but like how can I say I think that they were meant to be in the match because Rhea, obviously, she's like the biggest female wrestler right now. Like nobody's more popular than her right now, in my opinion. And Tiffany, she just got like a good move set. She does a good amount of acrobatic things. She was the prior champion, so it makes sense for her to be in here. But like I said, I think that Alexa could have been taken out. Maybe Asuka too. Put some two other people in here, but it was okay. Like I said, the match itself wasn't as good as last year's Chamber, but the right decision was made. Rhea should be facing Jade Cargill. If it wasn't Rhea, it should have been Raquel. But I don't think Raquel's there yet to have her face Jade. I think that Rhea being a baby face, it makes sense for her to go up against the big heel in Jade Cargill and obviously take her out. What about you?
So I agree. There are moments in that match that I actually did like. For example, Kiana James pinning Oscar or not Oscar pinning Alexa Bliss.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that was really really good. Back to back weeks, I believe, or back to back events for her where she pins Charlotte one week and then pins
Yeah, yeah, you're right. Yeah.
Alexa Bliss, and like those are two world champions, former world champions that she's pinned. So you got the backing of WWE saying, "Hey, look, we're gonna let you pin these former world champions, get some credibility to your name, and get more confidence in you." They did a great job in this match, in my opinion, highlighting the younger talents. They had Kiana James and Raquel look really, really good in this match. Raquel at one point looked like a dominant force, back to back pins. She just looked like she was dominating the whole thing, and it took Rhea jumping off the top of the chamber of the bod, and then Tiffany Stratton to come in with the moonsault to actually eliminate her. So it was like a nice little, back and forth between them. I did like the use of the mist to eliminate Alexa Bliss when she was gonna go for the Sister Abigail, and then Kiana James capitalizing on that. You know, one thing I will say, getting kind of old. I think Oscar's character is getting kind of old as well. I know that she's an older wrestler, but in New Japan and when she was in NXT, her first year in WWE, she just looked like a dominant force. And to see that dominant force and now what she is now, kind of like just a fill-in character, kind of rubs me the wrong way. I wish they would use her a little bit more. I also do get it. It's hard to push her when she doesn't speak English. She's not the best at cutting promos, and it's tough, but overall, I liked it. I agree with you again with Rhea Ripley winning. I thought she should have won the match. I thought if you would have did Tiffany Stratton again, like we've seen her and Jade wrestle already, we've seen what they could do with each other, and I think this is a new twist for WrestleMania, something for us to be excited about. By any means, Rhea's not a pushover. She's not a high flyer. She's not a small um female wrestler. So I like where that's going. Just two powerhouses, two athletic beasts in the ring, and Rhea just being a phenomenal in ring performer. I think she can put the best out of Jade, something that Jade desperately needs. Not saying that she's bad, but she hasn't wrestled with people like Charlotte Flair, a Rhea Ripley at that high of a level event. So I'm a
Yeah.
fan of what they did there with Rhea winning.
Yeah, I agree with you there. Like you were saying, I think the showcase of the younger talent, um, Tiffany is technically a part of that, but I don't think that she needed a showcase because we've seen her be champion already. So I think them focusing on Kiana James and being like, hey, yeah, Raquel's been here for a while, but we're going to show you that we're invested in her. That was a good thing for both of them. I think that Kiana obviously getting eliminated with Asuka. I didn't have a problem with it, and I actually think that Raquel getting eliminated, how she got eliminated, was actually it helped her stay strong. She needed both Rhea and Tiffany to team up with each other in order for them to take her out. So that was good. I like that they didn't like squash her or make her look weak. Like she was strong throughout the whole match, and they had to like pretty much like triple threat or like handicap against her in order for them to even put some offense. Like you said, I think that Rhea being like, her size, she's a big woman, like tall. She's looking a little leaner, but I think that her against Jade, obviously size wise, won't look as crazy as like a Jade going up against a Alexa Bliss, who's like very, very, very short. Also, Rhea's a great seller, so I feel like any moves that Jade is gonna do on her, considering the fact that Jade isn't, obviously the greatest wrestler in the world, she doesn't have too many moves or nothing like that. But I do think that Jade will be more comfortable with Rhea, and I think that whatever moveset she does on Rhea will look good because Rhea is that good of a seller. So I'm excited to see their match. I think that they could possibly put on Jade's best WWE match. It won't be the best women's match of all time or nothing like that. I'm not saying that, but I think that this could be Jade's best WWE match. So I am looking forward to that. Um, I feel like there's a lot of stuff that WWE could do with these other women that are in here. You were saying about Asuka that she's getting older, and you kind of wish that she would do something different. I could see them trying to do a feud with Io for WrestleMania. It makes sense, obviously. Like Io looked up to Asuka, they've been beefing, but could it be that, or is it like, oh, let's try to do something new? I could see them trying to do something like that. I could also see Asuka going up against Kyrie, because Kyrie, she's been yelling at her and stuff. So I could see Kyrie maybe like cracking and just, going up against her. But that's not a WrestleMania match. That's going to be like a Monday Night Raw type of match, or maybe like a PLE match, but not WrestleMania.
Yeah.
Tiffany is the interesting one. I don't know where you go with Tiffany here. She obviously lost this match. She lost to Jade before. Do you just keep her on SmackDown and maybe hope that when, if Rhea becomes, I'm gonna say when, because I think Rhea wins at WrestleMania, that you do Rhea versus Tiffany for the belt? I mean, that sounds okay. Or do you move Tiffany to Raw? That could be good. Maybe moving her to Raw instead.
I like
Um,
that.
yeah, so I feel like she's the biggest question mark. Kiana's doing good. I think that her and Julia working together, I could see them breaking it up and let Kiana do her own thing. Maybe try to go for the United States belt. And then Alexa, maybe just keep her with Charlotte, keep doing their thing, and then build them up to like break up with each other. Somebody turn heel. I'm assuming it would be Alexa, since she has like the whole like Sister Abigail, Bray Wyatt connection. Maybe she joins the Wyatt family. So
See, I personally, not to interrupt you, I personally,
Mhm.
I love Charlotte as a heel. And I feel like if she were to turn heel, she just has the credibility of like, I'm gonna do whatever it takes to get what I want, and it's gonna, she'll sell it, she'll make it work.
I agree with you. The only reason why I would think it would be Alexa is just because of the whole like I said, the whole Bray Wyatt connection. The even though the Wyatt Six isn't heels, they're like technically babyface. So I guess maybe you could just do that. But I don't know. They definitely got a collision course between each other. I think Tiffany, like I said, that's the biggest question mark. Maybe move her to Raw to see what she could do there. But yeah, good for Rhea to get this win. I think this was good for her, and I think she'll come out on top of WrestleMania.
Yeah, I agree. So the next match was AJ Lee, her first match back in WWE singles match, anyways.
Yep.
She defeated Becky Lynch for the Women's Intercontinental Championship. I thought the match was pretty. I won't say it was the best. I would give it like a 6 out of 10 as well. I felt like they could have done a little bit better with the match. I know, like at the end when she got her in her submission move, she kind of just tapped a little bit too fast, in my opinion. Anyways, like I would have liked it if she's struggling to get out, she's trying to go for the rope, she's trying any way to get out of it, and then desperation kicks in, and then she taps out because she just can't get out of her submission move. I did like how they were working the turnbuckle. They're setting up a feud, in my opinion, with Becky Lynch and the one referee. I forget her name at the moment. So I see
Jessica
that.
Carr.
Jessica Carr, yes. I like that angle. Overall, I thought they could have done a little bit better with the storytelling in that match. I know like AJ Lee supposed to be rusty. She's supposed to be like, it's been a while. She doesn't have it in her anymore. But I just felt like they could have done a better storytelling. So like overall, I thought this was the worst match of the night. And yeah, I hope they treat AJ Lee right now. She's going into Mania with the Women's Intercontinental Championship. So are they gonna run it back with her and Becky, having, some made her tap out twice at this point, or are they gonna go a different route? Which at this point I kind of want them to go a different route just so we can get a little bit of a fresh air between them. Maybe come back in it later on and do something different. Maybe Becky and Tiffany Stratton can feud as she debuts on
Mm.
Raw. So it's just something different, and then AJ Lee could finally do something different herself, So it'd be cool to see.
I like that. I like that thought. Becky Lynch, Tiffany Stratton. That sounds good. I like that feud. I think that would be very good. So yeah, definitely bring Tiffany to Raw. I am not gonna lie. I agree with you. This was definitely the worst match of the night. All right. I feel like it's not a hot take. It's just my observation. It's my opinion. AJ Lee does not look good in the ring right now. She looks bad. Um, I get it. She is rusty. I get it that she hasn't wrestled in years and stuff like that. Okay, I understand. but her moveset is not good. The punches she throws looks pretty bad. The submission itself is an easy submission to just get out of. You like the opponent just got to stand up straight. So like it just doesn't look believable. And then I see seeing Becky do her finishers, doing all her moves, and then AJ Lee's just like, Super Cena kicking out of it like nothing. I'm like, nah, no way. I I did not like this match that much. You gave it a 6 out of 10. I'm not gonna lie. I think this was a 3 out of 10. This match, I was very bored. I caught myself on my phone the entire match. Yes, the turnbuckle angle was good, but they botched it with the ref too. Like it was like there were so many botches in the match. And I've noticed that like AJ Lee has a lot of botches. Like in the Elimination Chamber match, no, not the Elimination Chamber, sorry, the War Games match, that's what she was in the War Games match, and even the match with the tag team with Seth and Becky versus Punk and AJ. She did a lot of stuff wrong too, like a lot of botches, and like it bothers me just because this woman was considered to be, one of the greatest female wrestlers ever, and like people were clamoring for her to come back, and she comes back. Good for her. Like I'm not mad at her for coming back. Obviously get your bag, get your paper. And the fans been wanting to see you, but like I just feel like if this is how you're gonna wrestle, like I don't want you to be my women's intercontinental champion. Like there's way better people that could perform way better. I mean,
Yeah.
Asuka, I'm sure Asuka is probably like, well, I have it up. Let me see. Asuka is older than AJ Lee. AJ Lee's only 38 and Asuka's like 44 or 43. And she wrestles better than AJ Lee.
I just feel like it's the time away from the ring.
Yeah. I
So
get it.
and it's been a while. So and she's also wrestled in a different era. It was
Yeah.
the Divas era, so like they weren't as physical. So I think she needs to adjust to the times nowadays, with the
Yeah.
physicality that the women bring. So I want to give her some time, a couple months to just get back to it. I agree. Maybe they shouldn't have rushed to put the belt on back on AJ Lee, but I understand. It's Chicago, her hometown.
Yeah.
Punk, her. So I wouldn't mind if maybe she loses it right away and then has to work her way back and grind up the card and just trains more. Just because I feel like, is she going to be a part timer as an Intercontinental Champion, or is she really going to be in this
Yep.
to be in it?
That's the thing. And Becky's been doing really good work as this heel character. Like this heel character has been really good. She gave Maxine Dupree a really good match, considering that Maxine is very new in the scene. So Becky is a fantastic wrestler. I don't know. Like I didn't like this match. I don't want to see, like when you said Tiffany Stratton and Becky, that caught my attention. I'm like, wow, I can see this work, and I can see something good. Even a Becky Lynch versus a Io Sky, a Becky Lynch versus even a Kiana James. Like I'm excited for those type of matches. AJ, I get it. Like I said, we could chalk it up to that, to be in that it's just because she's, ring rust. But again, the way you get rid of ring rust is wrestling, you doing these matches. And like you said, the question is, are you going to be a part-time champion or are you going to be full-time champion? If you're going to be a part-time champion, she's not going to get better. She's just going to stay the same. And then I don't want to see that, like I said, for my intercontinental champion. Like I'd rather see even like Natty, it looks a little bit better now with her character, with her new character. It's not the best character because it looks a little corny, but at least she could wrestle a little better, and her moveset's a little better.
So what if we have her lose the belt right away and we put the belt on Raquel Rodriguez, and then
I
AJ
think
Lee kind of works the ring again?
I would like Raquel to be champ. That sounds great. But if you have her lose right away, then what was the point of even giving her the belt? Just for that one moment? Like that's cheap. That's cheap pop. You get me?
Mhm.
And then it just sucks. Like it just makes like the belt like not as meaningful, like you had her. I'm assuming AJ Lee's gonna have this belt until at least WrestleMania. But if she were to lose it like next week, I'd be like, what? Why would you even give her the belt?
Mhm.
I would want Raquel to get it because I think Raquel would have a better reign than AJ Lee. But so in that aspect, I agree. I would want that, but also you hurt the belt in doing that. So I don't think WWE is going to do that. They're going to probably keep her with the belt. But this is a question that you got to ask, that you asked. What do you do with them now? Because I don't want to see another match with them. Like I think that it's done. Like leave the feud as it is. Becky lost. Okay, Becky set up a feud with, if you want Jessica Carr, because apparently Jessica Carr is supposed to actually make a in ring debut soon, so maybe it is against Becky. Then AJ Lee's got to do something else. What do you do with her? I mean, I guess Raquel. Raquel would be good. That makes sense. Or Lyra Valkyria or Bailey. Oh, well, yeah, it'll probably be Bailey because that's like her idol and stuff. So it'll probably be Bailey versus AJ Lee, and I think Bailey takes it off. I think that's what happens. Just give it to Bailey then. At that
I'm
point,
not mad at that.
yeah, like if Bailey, she was instrumental in the new women's, division. So cool, that's fine. If that's who you want to give it up to, then give it up to her. But at this point, I don't want AJ Lee past WrestleMania with that belt. If you want till WrestleMania, fine, you can hold it with that. But what are we gonna get? One more match from her before WrestleMania, and that's it. That sucks. Like,
Now the caveat there is if she actually shows up weekly on Raw now, she gets some matches in her belt. She gets this rust off of her because if you're just gonna show up for the pay-per-views and you're actually not putting in the work that some of these people are doing, I agree. You shouldn't have the belt. We should take it off of you at Mania and just kind of move on with it. Like you got your moment. You're the Intercontinental Champion. Whoop de doo. Nostalgia factor there, but it's time to move on.
yep. Yeah, I agree. And then just make her like a commodity match. Just like, hey, like for example, you know what I would do with AJ Lee? You don't need a belt for this. If you're like, hey, we want AJ Lee and we want her at WrestleMania, put her against Trish Stratus.
That would be
Trish
great.
Trish had a match, with Becky, the cage match, and she did well. She wrestled good. So put them against each other. Be like, hey, icon versus icon. That sounds good to me. I'm cool with that. Or
Yeah,
like, or those type of matches. Or be like, hey, AJ Lee versus I don't want to see Nikki Bella, no, because Nikki, nah. Or Brie, no.
I
Like
agree.
people like that, like just put them up, or like Bailey, since Bailey and her, they were super cool and stuff like that. Cool, then put her up against Bailey, or
Yeah.
put her up against a Roxanne Perez. I'm cool with that. I like those. But give her something that it's like commodity matches. You don't need a belt for none of that. Give the belt to somebody else. Give it to a Raquel. Give it to a Lyra, a Bailey. My top pick would be Raquel. I think Raquel has done enough with this new character. Give her that belt, put it on her, and just make her unstoppable.
100% agree there. 100%.
Yep.
Moving on. The next match of the night was CM Punk versus Finn Balor. Not gonna lie to you. Okay, so I know there were some people that were saying, "Oh, there's a chance that Finn actually does get the belt," and they throw a twist in all this. When they did that Chicago Bulls entrance and they had them announce CM Punk the way they did with the classic '90s Chicago Bulls music and announcer, I was on my phone for half the match. It was a good match. It was a good match. Don't get me wrong, but just the fact that I knew going in that Punk wasn't gonna lose the belt, and then seeing that intro in Chicago, there was no chance in hell that he was losing that
No
championship.
way.
None. Overall, I thought that match was I want to say it was like it wasn't bad. Second best match of the night in my opinion, maybe the third best if I actually like took the time to think. Um, Finn and him just got really good chemistry. They work really well together in the ring. I like the storyline that they've been building. It sucks that they had Roman announce who he was going to wrestle right away at the Royal Rumble because it kind of just, or at WrestleMania, just because it kind of did just make it a little bit more predictable in a sense.
Yep.
But nonetheless, I did like the twist there. I thought the whole time I'm like, all right, Judgment Day's going to come out. They're going to find a way to screw him. Lo and behold, they didn't screw him. It was a clean win by Punk. They worked the ring really well, and even after that when he shook Punk's hand, I was like, all right, Judgment Day's gonna come out. They're gonna be kind of mad that he shook his hand again. No, they just kind of shook hands and let the story be told silently. Something's brewing, and yeah, I just I enjoyed the match overall.
Yeah. I agree. First thing, that entrance cold. It was really dope. I don't
Bro,
know if I don't know how much WWE spent on that stuff. I'm sure they spent a good amount, but that thing was dope. Being in Chicago, being CM Punk's hometown, and obviously Michael Jordan's famous entrance, super dope. Like incredible. One of the greatest entrances I've seen in a long time. So kudos to them for that. Um, Second, I agree with you 1000%. The problem with this match, here's what happened with this match, Los, and I think you can agree with it. Because Roman did exactly what you said, came out, announced, I want you, I hate you, I've always hated you, blah, blah, blah. Fantastic promo. Because you did that, you have already set it up. You're like, okay, it's going to be Punk. There's no other way around it. So now there is no thought of like, oh man, they might let Finn win. Like maybe Finn will win, or maybe this. Every near fall, the first thing you're saying is they're not doing this because it's going to be Roman and it's going to be Punk. They're not risking their biggest main event. So like you screwed it. So like today, so we're filming this on Monday, March 2nd. You could have just had Roman come today and announce to Punk, I'm choosing you. I hate you, blah, blah, blah. And it would have been fine. We didn't need it back then. Because of that, this match had no stakes, essentially. It was just a match, which
yep.
it was a good match. I'm not going to lie. Like, I'm with you. I think that these two have very good chemistry. Punk has been putting on some great matches this year so far. So kudos to him for at his age as well. But I do think that their match at Raw was better than this one, but I still like this one. It was good. Um I I don't know what else you could do with Finn right now. They're trying to bring like the Fiend music back. Are you gonna bring the Fiend character back? Finn is at a like he's like kind of like with his back against the wall, and it's just closing in on him more and more. Um, Dom just lost his Intercontinental Championship today, so that Finn versus Dom is not even gonna have a belt attached to it. It's just gonna be just straight. All right, let's try to build heat off of these two. But I don't know about Finn as I like Finn as a heel. I don't know about Finn as a baby face. Like I don't know if I like that.
I was
Um,
there in NXT for Finn as a babyface, and I absolutely love him better as a babyface.
yep.
Not saying that he's a terrible heel, just the aura that he brings when he is the demon. I know in WWE the first couple of rounds with the demon, they kind of overdid it, and it was like every pay per view he came out as a demon. I
Mhm.
think Triple H knows how to work the demon character, and you do it on big
Okay.
stages, big events. So maybe they do feud, and then they think it's Finn Balor coming out, and it's really the demon. And it's the first time we've seen the demon in so many years. So it'd be a nice pop. I will say, like when you experience that, the intro, the red smoke, everything goes black, and he's doing his little thing on the ropes, and the lights are going in with him. It's a experience to say the least. And
Mhm.
if they build the demon up, like Finn Balor as the demon, and they build him up right, there is a world where I can see him become world champion again. But if they just rush it, it's not going to work. You need to build it up right. I want to see them per se, maybe do a triple threat or a fatal four-way match for the Intercontinental Championship. And it's the implosion of the Judgment Day, and now it's a four-way because Dom just lost the belt. There's just a lot that they can do with this, and I
Yeah.
feel like if they do it right and they actually promote Finn the way Finn was promoted in NXT, man, the moon's the limit because he is such a good baby face. He can sell so much merchandise. So trust me, that's something that we could do sometime this weekend.
Mhm.
Watch a Finn Balor match, and
I
yeah,
think the thing is not that I don't believe in it. It's just the last time we seen him as a babyface. To be fair, Triple H wasn't in charge at the time. Vince was still in charge, but it was when Edge had just started the Judgment Day and he was feuding with him. Remember the Hell in a Cell match that they had at WrestleMania, I think it was. Um the one where like uh who was it? Was it Finn that was bleeding a whole bunch? Somebody was bleeding a whole bunch, and they had to like stop the match to like cover up and stuff and put some yeah, it was Finn. He had to put staples in his head. I didn't like the babyface character there. Like it seemed corny and forced. But again, Vince was in charge. So you like you said, maybe with Triple H being at the helm, he'll be able to handle the character well. I just feel like as of now, like I did like the heel character, especially like when he was coming after Punk without Judgment Day by himself. Like that aggression and that ruthlessness that he had was like dope. I like that. But if I just feel like Dom, the way he is right now, you can't make him a babyface. You got to leave Dom a heel. He's a bigger heel right now, and he's like a tweener. Like the people love to, like not hate on him, but they just love him, but they don't want him forced down their throat. So you can't make him babyface. You got to keep him how he is. Um, there could be maybe like a fatal four way for the IC belt. But they did that already with Dom and Finn, so I don't think they'll do that again. I think that they're just gonna have them like face off head to head against each other, and then obviously you're gonna have JD in a tough position. Like, who do you pick? Do you pick Finn, who you've known for years and is your fellow countryman, or do you go with Dom, who's like your boy now, who you run with? Like, which one do you choose now? And I feel like JD's gonna be kind of stuck between a rock and a hard place there. But Punk, I back to Punk real quick. Punk's got the easiest path of what's next because it's literally just him and Roman. There is nothing else. There's no roadblocks. That's it. It's just Punk and Roman. Do not put anybody else in front of Punk. We are not gonna believe it. We're not gonna be like, oh, they have a chance. No, it's Punk and Roman. Leave them alone. Let them do whatever they want to do. Today, Roman came. They did a great promo together. Cool. If that's how it's going to be, cool. We have until next month. Do not put Punk in another match. Do not risk him getting injured. Just leave him alone. Leave him alone and let him do his thing with Roman. I expect them to have a fantastic match because Punk has been putting on some great matches so far. Leave him alone. And Finn, I think he has no other path other than you got a feud with Dom. It's meant to be. It's either that or join him in a tag team with like a Shinsuke Nakamura. I like that. I would put Shinsuke and Finn together, kind of put that like Japanese style, put them together, and that's it. It's either those two. Don't do anything else with them.
I could see that work. I don't know. I want to see Finn as a babyface personally. I want to see the Demon back, and I want to see Triple H's take on the Demon and doing it right, just like he did in NXT. But I do agree with you. You can't do anything else with Punk. Just have him and Roman take shots at each other back to back weeks. Just build this up, make this one of the biggest pay per view main events that we've had. I know it's going to be hard to top him and Cody and that build up, but I mean, Roman is a cash cow. He put the company on his back during COVID. He carried it. He showed you that he was the best thing in wrestling. And right now, like Punk, when he did his intro, that was just pure aura that they gave him. Just pure aura. Roman, every time he comes out, it's pure aura. Like we're putting the ones up, you know what I mean? Pure aura. So let's just build up their aura even more, have them aura farm every week, and just when it comes down to WrestleMania, aura versus aura, let's put on a phenomenal match. I'm a Roman Reigns fan, so I would hope to see him win the belt back. But I'm sure that they have a storyline that they can make work for either of them. Punk has been putting on great matches, so yeah, I'm excited. That's the main event I'm excited for. I love the build up. I love the feud that's going on. I love the promos that they're putting on with each other. So just to the moon, man. Take it to the moon.
So before we get to the main event, Los, we had revealed what was in the box finally after many weeks of speculation, and it turned out to be what we all thought it was. It was Danhausen and his little vampire girls. So real quick, this has been a talk of the community, of the wrestling community. I saw you with the thumbs down. Go ahead and just say what's on your mind with that.
Man, Danhausen to me, mind you, I'm not a big Danhausen fan. Like when I sat front row in AEW, I got to take a picture with him. I shook his hand. Like he's a great people person. He's gonna be like our truth in a sense, like the new comedy skit
Hmm.
for WWE. Man, dude, I just don't like the guy. Like there's no credibility in him. If you ever have him wrestle, there's just zero credibility to his name from AEW to now. Like it's just no credibility. He's just a glorified jobber. I mean, if you're gonna bring the 24/7 championship back, sure. But like even then, there's just no credibility to that man. I was personally hoping it was Chris Jericho in there, a new twist. He's done a whole bunch of different things, with coming back, and I thought this could have been a nice twist, especially, continuing the learning tree gimmick just in a different
Yeah.
way and just doing it better in WWE. I'm not a Danhausen fan. I don't like his whole gimmick and his whole "you're cursed." Like it's just not my thing. I'm sure it's gonna make kids laugh, and I'm sure it's for the kids, but not for me.
So you were saying earlier that you didn't watch Raw. So just a spoiler to everybody. So Danhausen was on Raw today, and he actually cursed Dom Mysterio, and that's the reason why Dom lost the IC belt today. So I agree with you though. Danhausen, everything I've seen about him is that he's a great guy, that he is very like he's not selfish at all. He's very kind, he's very a very good dude. Like he'll take pictures, he'll sign autographs, he's very cool. But this is not the business for that. Obviously, like we're here to see, really good wrestlers, or if you're not that good of a wrestler in the sense of like maybe you're not the best performer, the best, you can't do the best flips, whatever, then you gotta have crazy mic skills. And Danhausen has neither. He has neither. Um he came out and it was just cheesy. It was cheesy. It looked like something Vince would have done. I'm like, is Vince back? It seemed weird. And he came out, and after he did his thing or whatever, the crowd booed the hell out of him. They booed the hell out of him. So my question is this, Los, because I saw a couple of reports. So I want to ask you, what do you think, in your opinion, happened here? Like, what is the reason for this? I heard that there are many people that actually were not in favor of bringing Danhausen. I heard a lot of people say that they weren't sure of him, and there was like a couple people that did want to bring him on board. So ultimately, they did bring him to honor those people that wanted him in. What do you think is his purpose here? Do you see him as like a R Truth type? Because R Truth he's still on Raw. Or is Truth leaving? Or are we just gonna replace him? Is Danhausen gonna go to SmackDown to be the R Truth of SmackDown? Is he gonna take steroids to build up his frame? What are we doing with Danhausen?
Honestly, I don't know what they're gonna do, man. He's a glorified jobber, and if you wanna feed him to Obafemi, I am okay with that. So yeah, he's probably just gonna be the comedy skit of one of the brands. He'll curse people, and then that might set up a small feud between him and Dom. Maybe, Dom is mad. Oh, you cursed me! Like what the hell? And then boom, they have a small feud where Dom beats the dog shit out of him, and then he moves on to bigger and better things. But I don't know. It's just to me, there's he is. I'm not a fan. Never was a fan,
Yeah.
and I think it's just a glorified jobber. Feed him to
I
Obafemi. Feed him to Obafemi.
I think that I think they brought him in because of Punk. I think him and Punk are very close, so I think they just wanted to make Punk happy, maybe, and bring him in. Um, I I don't know what else you do with him other than backstage like segments. Like I don't want to see him wrestling, like unless he gets squashed, like you said, like feed him to Obafemi. But then after you feed him to Obafemi, then what do you do? Like feed him to Rusev? Like it's tough. Like I don't know what you do with this guy. So I feel like just keep him in the back. Just do segments with him. Do like, do this little curse thing, whatever. But then somebody's gonna want to feud with him and wrestle him, and he's just not good. I said this as a joke yesterday to our boy AP. I said like I could see him joining Jericho for some reason. I don't know. Like Jericho could be like, all right, man, you're gonna join the new learning tree, and then have like you got to have some muscle, so bring somebody. But
Mm-mm.
like I don't know what else you could do with him, Los. Like he, I'm not
Even
trying to be
Mark
mean,
is
but he
there.
has he has he has no qualities in him.
Yeah, exactly.
So
You
like
keep
I
him far
don't
away from Chris Jericho. Don't ruin that.
know.
No shit.
Oh man. All right, let's go to the main event. I just want to talk
The
about
main
that.
event was the best match of the night. I loved it. It was great. I'm not even gonna lie. So the men's elimination chamber match, you had Trick Williams, Javon Evans, Cody Rhodes, um, calling a blank right now. Logan Paul. Um, I really just called a blank right now. I'm sorry.
LA Knight.
LA Knight. That's what I'm thinking about. LA Knight. And then the winner, they did the right thing. Randy Orton.
Yep.
Personally, I loved it. They had Logan Paul eliminate base. I thought he was eliminating everybody at one point. What was it? 3 eliminations for him. Like he was just
3.
catching bodies in the chamber. He was doing a good job, and I think they did that because they needed, no Braun Breaker. Obviously, he's hurt.
Bronson Reed too.
Yeah, Bronson Reed is hurt. So I think they did that right. They were trying to build him up for the eventual surprise of the night, which from what I've seen generated millions of views on social media and in YouTube. The
Yep.
return of Seth freaking Rollins. And I like how they did it. They originally had a masked man come out. It wasn't Seth. They took him out, and then Seth came in and just stomped Logan Paul, and it was just perfect. Everything there was perfect. As soon as I saw that second masked man, I even knew. I was like, "That's Seth." I know the way Seth walks. I know his demeanor. I know the way he stands. Like he took his mask off, looked at Cody, and turned around and just walked out the cage. I thought it was actually gold. Like that was perfect the way they pulled that off. I like I like some of the spots, Javon Evans getting eliminated by Randy Orton with an RKO that he wasn't expecting. I think this chamber was really, really good. The ending too with Drew McIntyre coming in, screwing over uh, Cody Rhodes, hitting him in the back of the head with the belt. Randy Orton coming in, just helping Cody to keep Randy kind of face in a sense, but then also in a heartbeat, like he said, just RKO to Cody. He didn't even hesitate. He said he wanted this, and he saw his opening and he struck. So
Yep.
kudos. I thought they executed this very, very well. Yeah, I'm excited for what they have going on. And personally, I think you were right. They might be setting up a fatal 4-way between Jacob Fatu, Cody Rhodes, Randy Orton, and Drew McIntyre WrestleMania.
Yep.
And if they do that, that to me sounds like a banger of a match. So I'm all for it.
Yeah, I'm with you, man. First of all, before the match even started, that boy Trick Williams is over. Wow,
Yes,
is he over?
yes, he
The
is.
crowd was going crazy with his music. Whoop that trick. That dude is super over. Shout out to Javon Evans. He was very good. He's got a bright future. That
Mhm.
kid is nice. He is nice. He did a lot of really good things in this match. He is a high flyer. That dude just moves. I think again, this is where I go with my opinions that become hot takes and people start to hate it. I think the worst performance here was LA Knight.
100%.
And
100%.
and we were talking about this yesterday. I don't know if you joined in this conversation, Los. But we were saying how LA Knight, he kind of messes up in these big moments. He messed up at the Money in the Bank where Seth won. He was supposed to do a couple things, and Triple H kind of yelled at him in the Unreal thing in the back. regarding it. And then here he tried to do this move. He jumped up on the top rope and slipped off, and it didn't look good. I feel like LA Knight, he kind of like panics in these big moments. Like when he knows he has like, important moments or, big spots and stuff like that. I feel like he kind of gets nervous, and it doesn't end up looking good for him, unfortunately. I feel bad for the guy because he's a little older. But I mean, it just comes with the territory, unfortunately. And I don't see him becoming a champion at all, like a world champion. I think it's gone. Yeah, I don't think he's ever gonna get it. Um, Trick did good in the match. Logan was good in the match as well. And then Cody and Randy were just, vintage Cody and Randy. I'm with you, Los. The right winner won. I knew it. I knew that it was gonna be Orton. They couldn't go with Rhodes again. If you went with Rhodes again, man, like I'm not gonna lie, like I told you, Los, I was like, if we might have to have a conversation today, I was going to go ballistic on WWE if Cody won that match again. It's just no point. Even though now they, after the Elimination Chamber, Nick Aldis made Drew McIntyre versus Cody Rhodes for this Friday for the belt. Why leave him alone? Like, unless I'm assuming Jacob is gonna interfere and cause a disqualification, then sure, leave it. Then do that. Set it up for that fatal 4-way at WrestleMania. That is a WrestleMania night one main event right there. Because I like Randy. Obviously, we all love Randy. He's a legend. But him versus Drew doesn't sell it as a WrestleMania main event. We need something else. We need difference. A fatal 4-way is something different. We haven't seen that. That would be great. But regarding the performances in here, like you said, Los, Seth returning in here, that was really good. Obviously sets up his storyline with the Vision. And then Cody doing the crossroads on Drew, who came in. I love that Drew interfered. He just will not let Cody go. I love it. And then right after Cody does the crossroads, Randy right away, boom, just like a snake, ready to attack. RKO 1, 2, 3, over. Loved it. Loved the ending. That was a great sequence. Randy, at his age, at being 45 years old, getting a WrestleMania main event. It's well deserved. Looking for his 15th championship. This was good. This was I agree with you, the best match of the night. I won't say it's I don't think it was better than last year's Elimination Chamber, because obviously last year's Elimination Chamber had the Cena heel turn along with it as well, so that thing was legendary. But I will say I enjoyed this Elimination Chamber match a lot, and I obviously think that the right winner won. I'm excited to see Randy in this WrestleMania main event, hopefully in that fatal 4-way. I don't know if he wins. He might. That would be cool to give him the belt, and then you could set up him versus Cody, which is obviously a feud that's been lurking for years. And I like that, Randy didn't come off as a heel. Yes, he did RKO the biggest baby face right now, Cody Rhodes, whatever. But he did it like you said. Hey, it's nothing personal. I just want my belt. I want the main event. I need this. So it comes off as like not a heel move, not a babyface move, kind of tweener move. But Orton, I think, is perfect for that because he can be a great heel. We've seen him before. Yeah. That 2013 Randy Orton run was insane. He was punting everybody. So I would love to see kind of that trickle in. But I think the biggest thing we can hope for, and I don't know if you're in agreement with this, I think we all want to see Cody Rhodes turn heel. 100%. I think we're done with the babyface. He already accomplished his dream, his mission. It was to become WWE champion. It's something his dad never got to accomplish. Okay, you became WWE champion. What was it? A 2-time champion already?
2-time champion, yeah.
Yeah. So, okay, cool. Now let's try to do something different. Let's work on your character. Let's make you a heel. You were a great heel in AEW. You do great mic work. bring it here. Let's do it with Randy. I would love to see that with Randy. So, like I said, right person won. The match was great. Match of the night. So this is definitely the match to watch. If you guys didn't watch the event and you want to go back, I would say if you had one match to watch, it's got to be the Elimination Chamber.
Yeah, 100%. The men's
Mm.
chamber was perfect. I agree. What I want from Cody too is like you were a part of Randy's stable when you were, getting
Yeah,
you know,
legacy.
yeah, you were getting into the things and you were trying, go on a solo run and you ended up having a tag team run with Ted DiBiase. Start your own stable, man. I want to see like your own version of the Four Horsemen. You, Ethan Page,
Ooh,
the way you guys hold the belt reminds me of that classic Ric Flair way of just you're walking around with the belt. You
cooking
don't
right
have
now
it
with
on you. You
that.
don't have it on your shoulder. You're just carrying it. It just gives me heel vibes every time I see you doing it. You guys all can wear the suits and just look the part, man. It would just be such a good thing. Ethan Page calling him up, putting him on the main roster behind Cody Rhodes, two people with just excellent mic skills. I feel like they can actually cook something up amazing there, and it can set up for probably Cody's best run as champion if he were to get the belt as a heel there, which I can totally see him doing that. I just think his babyface run was stale. It was like it was predictable. We knew that you beat Roman for the belt, you couldn't lose the belt right away because it would take the credibility away from your win. We needed somebody credible to beat Roman, so you're going to hold the belt for a year. You losing the belt to a heel Cena, and then getting the belt back, and now screwed by Cody or screwed by Drew McIntyre to then lose the belt ultimately. And I feel like you should not get the belt back until you turn heel and you do something
Yep.
epic in a sense like that. Just the Four Horsemen character evolution, like that was just gold. And I feel like it's been
Yeah.
long enough. The vision didn't work out, and the vision kind of gave me legacy vibes in a way. This could really give me like the Four Horsemen, like evolution vibes, something that could really, really just be epic. So that's what I want to see from him.
Who else do you see in this stable? Ethan Page would be really good, obviously. I feel like, in my opinion, maybe like a Ricky Starks. I don't know what you feel about that. Ricky Starks is good on the mic, so I think he would be good. The only thing I think that you would need, if other than those two, you need a big guy. You need a guy that looks menacing, that can be the muscle of the group. I don't know who you can make be that. That's a tough one to pick. I don't know if you have any suggestions for that one.
Royce Keys. You want to build
Oh,
him up, you bring him in.
yes.
Done the role before. You know he's
Yes.
gonna do the role. He's a credible heel. He's somebody who's strong as hell. Just you can make that work. I love Ricky Starks. I do. I feel like he would be perfect for that role. But personally, okay, personally, what I want to see, because I want them to build up this person very well. And like he's already a star. He's already generating heat as a heel. Why not? Whoop that trick. Put him in the stable. Him in there with Cody,
Oh.
and then just have this be names that people would just we know these people, we love these people. These are credible people. These are credible wrestlers. Credible, like it fits, and then they can all walk out kind of like an Evolution and in the Four Horsemen. They all have their own respective theme song when they walked out. So you keep the whoop that trick, but then when they all walk out together, you got that classic theme song that everybody's gonna know. To this day, I listen to Evolution's theme song and I get chills. I'm like, yes, this
So
was
good.
me hating hating wrestling, hating Triple H, hating Ric Flair. I hated Batista. It was just perfect. Randy Orton as the legend killer. So Ethan Page could be your young guy, or Trick William could be your young guy, somebody that you're molding into the next diamond of WWE for the next 20 years. You got um you got Royce Keys as the Batista, as the powerhouse of the group. You got Trick Williams, you got Cody Rhodes as the veteran. You know, the only thing that they could maybe do different instead of Trick Williams is put like a veteran there, somebody who's older as like the Ric Flair type of a role, but you don't really need that. So I,
No,
I
I think
okay.
I feel like I think Ethan would be good in that role. I think he could be like the mouthpiece. He could be the guy that comes in and he's just because he could talk, man, and he has people hate a lot. So I think he'd be good in that. Royce Keys would be great as the muscle. He's huge. He is jacked, dude. So that
Mhm.
would be great. And then Trick is not a small guy either, and he could be like your Randy Orton legend killer type vibe, like you said. And then obviously Rhodes would be like your Triple H character. Man, you cooked with that one. That was good. That was really good. I could see that. I mean, that would be fantastic. It's like you said, the vision did have a good vision essentially. Seth being at the helm and then having Bronson, having Paul Heyman and having Braun, they were great. I mean, that was a great stable. It looked good and they looked menacing because Braun and Bronson were just there. I mean, they're massive men. And who the hell? I mean, you always say, would you want five tsunamis from Bronson Reed, or you want this? Because the tsunamis look ridiculous, and then Braun Breaker was just the future. So they did have like kind of what you said, but now I mean they're all hurt. So then you have a need for a stable that is going to be important. What better stable than Rhodes being with these people, like you said, and all these people kind of have connections with Cody. Other than Trick, Trick is the only one that doesn't. But Royce would have a connection, and Ethan Page would have a connection with him. So I like that idea, Los. I think that would be perfect. I could see that them building a stable and let them have all the belts from SmackDown.
Yeah,
Let
man.
Cody be the champion there. Um, we can make the tag champions for Paige and Royce, and then make Trick your United States champion. And there you go. They got all four belts, and they're just coming out, like you said, like just with the belt on their shoulders, just lifting it, whatever, with the suits.
I
That's a
personally
great stable.
like the Four Horsemen. They don't, because Ethan Page, when he was champion, they don't hold the belts on their shoulder. They kind of fold it in and they hold it as like the actual title.
Oh yes, yes, yes. They carry it like on the side, like a
Yeah.
briefcase
So
type of
like
thing.
that would be perfect. And the reason why I like all these guys, they come out with their own theme song. And they're all okay. Like it's a theme song, like kind of like Triple H. We know
Yep.
his theme song. We knew Randy Orton's theme song back in the day. Hey, nothing you can say.
Yep.
It's great. Ric Flair with the woo. Batista had his own theme song, and then they had the Evolution theme song, which allows Trick Williams to have the fans still, whoop that trick.
Yep.
You still got Cody Rhodes, and there's only or there's more than one, wrestling fan, or you know, I forget the name. You'll have one. There's more than one Royal Wrestling family or
Yep.
whatever. You know, Ethan Page can have something fire, and then Powerhouse Hobbs can have something, or not Hobbs. I'm sorry, Royce Keys can have something fire, and then you just build them up. You have them all credible. You have them doing something great, and it fits. I gotta stop calling him Hobbs. I keep remembering him as Hobbs. Royce Keys, he just told the story about his brother and everything, and it made made you have sympathy for him in a way. And
Yep.
what better way to just, you guys thought I wanted sympathy? No. And then he just turns heel. He's a part of this stable, and just boom.
That would be perfect. I ain't gonna lie.
And they all walk around with fitted suits, man. Just like, it'll give me a mix of the Main Event Mafia back in the day, if you remember Main Event Mafia from TNA.
Oh yes, 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 yes.
So I'm
Yeah.
a fan. I think it'd be great.
You cook with that one, Los. That's a really good suggestion right there. Hopefully, I mean, somebody in creative watches that and does that, because that would be fantastic. You make Cody Rhodes. It's not that you make him a believable heel, but now you just made him look stronger, because now you're like, look what I just created. I created this for just us four unstoppable. And like we said, they get all the belts. And then you have an Ethan Page who can benefit from this. You have a Trick Williams who can benefit from this, and then a Royce Keys who could benefit from this too. Cody doesn't need to benefit from him. He kind of helps everybody out, but then you get a new character that we all know because we're wrestling fans. We've seen AEW, so we've seen what he did before. But now you introduce it into WWE, and now we can see a new iteration of this, so we don't get tired and bored of Cody. Unfortunately, it's true what you said. The babyface character of his was stale, and that's a reason why, where we come back to the Elimination Chamber, we didn't want him to win because we don't want to keep seeing the same thing over and over. Us wrestling fans, we don't want things shoved down our throats. If we don't want that, we don't want it. That's the reason why when Jay Uso qualified for this match, we were pissed. We were pissed because, I mean, it's not that we hate Jey Uso. It's just we don't want him. They're trying to shove him down everybody's throat. We don't want him. It's the same thing with Cody. Unfortunately, it's the same thing that happened to Roman back then when he was a babyface and Vince was trying to, bring him in. Push him to the top. Fans don't want that. The fans want an organic person to rise. Something like a Randy Orton, something like a Trick Williams, something like a Javon Evans. Like, these are people that we like, that if they were to get a shot, we'd be happy about it. We wouldn't be upset about it. But if we keep getting the same thing over and over and over and over, we're not gonna want it anymore. So we need reiteration. We need new characters, or we need new, we need changes. And I respect that about Charlotte, because Charlotte was one of those things. She was being shoved down everybody's throat. She kept being the main event of WrestleMania, or she kept getting title shots. And now she changed. I like that she doing this tag team thing with Alexa. She wasn't even in the Elimination Chamber, which I'm happy. Thank God, like, we don't have to be like, oh, Charlotte's gonna win this. No, it changed. Cool. I like that. Do something different. Do something that the fans aren't expecting. Do something that the fans will be like, I gotta watch next week because I gotta see more about this story or whatever. And that Four Horsemen evolution type a faction that you talked about is fantastic. I would love to see that every single week. I think that that's perfect for Cody, and I think it's perfect for the other three men.
Oh yeah, and if you build them up, kind of like you build up the bloodline, and you just have them, just running shit, and just it would it would be great in my opinion. I feel like that's a
I agree.
stable that could last a couple years, and it'd just be so credible to see them, and then slowly they each just trickle apart, and yeah, they just all become stars. I mean, it worked great for the Four Horsemen. It worked great for Evolution. We saw Randy. Look at Randy now. Batista, he was probably the biggest star at the time when he was world champion, and he was doing his feuds with the Undertaker. I just, you know, I've always loved stables like that, and that would be perfect.
Yeah, I agree.
So, well, guys, that is it for our Elimination Chamber review. I hope you guys enjoy. I hope you guys like my idea with a Four Horsemen type of stable coming in.
Yeah.
WWE creative. I got ideas, man. I've been watching y'all for years, man. Come holler at me. Let's work with each other. You know what I mean? Because it's not the only thing I'm thinking. So, all right, well,
Yeah.
that is everything for us. Peter, Carlos, out.
See you guys.
Have a good night. God bless. And yeah, that's end.